What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I got some pretty big news for you. First of all, it's obviously the 27th, Tuesday, April 27th. That means we have 2 days until the draft. It starts on the 29th, Thursday the 29th. I will be watching at least day 1 and day 2 of the draft. Day 3 ends up being at 10 o'clock in the morning for me on the West Coast. And it's just day 3, so I'm going to keep it real. I probably will not be awake for that. I will probably still be sleeping, and yeah. So, but I will be doing a live stream for day 1 and day 2. Those are obviously the big days, the most important days, and there is some more big news today that could possibly affect that. Before I get into the news, though, Dolphins news, I do want to give you a little bit of my news. I got my draft hat in today, so the Miami Dolphins 2021 draft hat. As you guys know, I have a collection. This is what, 2, 4, 6, 7 years now. Wow, really? 7 years in a row that I have gotten the draft hat. It's just a collection, and so here's the new one. I don't wear them because I don't really wear hats, but here we go. I gotta admit, I'm not super thrilled about this one. I think some of the other ones are cooler, but it's the next one in the line, and so it is. Anyway, let's go ahead and put that up, and let's get into this news. Let us get into this news. So, all right, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is there's a couple reports out regarding a trade that the Dolphins just did today, as well as, some possibilities for what the Dolphins might do at pick number 6 because of that trade. So let's go ahead and get into that. And so the first one is about pick number 6, the first article here, and that is saying that Penei Sewell, the one of the top offensive linemen rated in this draft, could be going to the Dolphins. So Dolphins rumors Penei Sewell could be number 6 draft pick after Flowers trade. Flowers trade? Yes. They traded Ereck Flowers. We'll get more into that in just a second. After trading one offensive lineman in Ereck Flowers, the Miami Dolphins could target another with the number 6 pick. Now pause for just a quick second. As you guys know, Sewell would be the guy that I would take. However, obviously, that's one more offensive line down, one more veteran, one more experienced guy. You guys also know that I was not big on bringing him in to begin with. So, I don't know. I mean, if anything, it just proves me right yet again, because here they are admitting that a high-priced free agent that they brought in last offseason isn't going to get it done. And I told you that was the case. But there's a lot more that goes into this. So, according to Adam Beasley of the Miami Herald, offensive tackle Penei Sewell is a first-round possibility for the Dolphins. This comes after they reportedly dealt left guard Ereck Flowers to the Washington football team. It does make the offensive line worse, though, and they were already pretty bad. So, this is a huge deal. This is a huge, huge deal, especially if they don't take a top offensive lineman in the first round, and especially if they end up going Kyle Pitts or, one of those wide receivers. That would be a huge, huge miss. Let's see, where was I? After they reportedly dealt Ereck Flowers to the Washington football team in a swap involving late-round picks, per Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network on Tuesday, Flowers started 14 games for Miami last season after signing a 3-year, $30 million contract in the offseason, so his departure could force some major reshuffling on the offensive line. It absolutely will. Beasley reported Miami plans to move Robert Hunt to right tackle, from right tackle to right guard, while Travis Springfield, the team's official site, noted Solomon Kinley as an option to fill in that left guard. They have no idea, bro, and I'm sorry. People don't like to hear this, but that offensive line is not good. None of the guys are really all that great on that offensive line, and it's going to be a mess. I'm telling you, it's going to be a mess. The Dolphins still have veteran DJ Fluker to fill in at right tackle, or they could find someone in free agency, but Sewell could be another strong option in the draft. Now, again, though, and especially because of this move, that would make me take Penei Sewell even more. Now, let's see if that's what they're going to do. Obviously, part of this was cap savings, which we'll get into in just a minute. Let's see. And, you know, the rest, I guess I'll just finish. Before opting out of the 2020 season amid the COVID-19 pandemic, Sewell was considered one of the top players in college football. He won the Outland Trophy as a sophomore at Oregon in 2019 while being named a first-team All-American in the Pac-12 Co-Offensive Player of the Year. He didn't allow a sack during the 2019 campaign and only allowed 7 pressures and over 900 snaps per his school's site. Bleacher Report's scouting department lists Sewell as the number 4 overall player in the class and top offensive lineman, while the Dolphins could also target a pass catcher to help young quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, and Devontae Smith could all be available. Sewell would help solidify the offensive line for years as a bookend opposite Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson still has a lot to prove. He was just okay last year, really, at best. And so they absolutely do. But they say, and people keep saying, oh, you know, Tua needs weapons. First of all, the wide receiver room is really deep, actually, and they have plenty of guys. They have guys that fit all the different molds. They have big go-up-and-get-it guys like fucking Parker and Preston Williams, not to mention Gesicki is the tight end. They have, you know, small gadget guys that are really quick like Albert Wilson and fucking Jakeem Grant and Malcolm Perry and Lynn Bowden Jr., right? Not to mention Alan Hearns and a bunch of other guys, right? Like, that room is super deep. They don't need to go get him. But people are like, oh, but that's what's going to help the young the young quarterback. No, what's going to help him is making sure that he has an offensive line in front of him that can open up holes and so on and so forth for running backs, that can give him protection so that way he can pass the ball. But that offensive line is going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. The Miami Dolphins, so let's get into the next report though. The Miami Dolphins are reportedly finalizing a trade Tuesday to send offensive lineman Ereck Flowers to the Washington football team as a part of the deal that includes a swap of late round picks in the 2021 NFL Draft, which begins Thursday. So let's see. He previously played for Washington in 2019, so that's who we actually got him for when we brought him over excuse me. Let's see. This doesn't actually tell me. That's interesting. Okay, so here's what I'm looking for. Flowers was under contract through 2022 as part of a 3-year, $30 million deal, and I told you he wasn't going to make it. I told you guys, just like Kyle Van Noy, told you guys, just like Jordan Howard, those guys are gone so far. Now they still got Byron Jones, they got a Landon Roberts, they still got a couple guys. A Landon Roberts I think is going to stick around, but there is a significant possibility that Byron Jones doesn't make it though. And I seriously doubt he's going to make it through his entire 5-year contract. Why? Because they are overpaying for these guys. I told you guys this, and this is more proof of that. It included a $9 million cap hit for the 2021 season. His agent Drew Rosenhaus told ESPN's Adam Schefter after the contract was restructured to complete the trade. To make his trade to Washington for Miami official, Ereck Flowers restructured his contract whereby the Dolphins will pay $6 million in a signing bonus and Washington will pay $3 million base salary, giving Flowers $9 million fully guaranteed this year. So what that means is, and this actually didn't even give me all the details I want, but I will get them for you in a minute from some tweets. That means the Dolphins have to even then pay some of that money. They have to eat some of that fucking money to get rid of him, which doesn't help the cap situation. But there's even more to it. Let's see. So cap savings on Flower dump was so small, $2 million. This comes from Barry Jackson, that Miami still doesn't have enough cap space to sign the draft class and practice squad, let alone have a cushion of space to take into the season. I told you guys these motherfuckers have absolutely no fucking cap space. They have to make cap space, not only to sign their draft class and practice squad, but so that way they're not completely fucking broke. So if you think that they're done cutting their fucking mistakes, no, because they still have a bit of work to do. Phins are at $9.3 million in cap space. That's absurd. That's absurd to have that little. Why though? Because they spent over $100 million. I think it was actually over $150 million, if I'm not mistaken, last year on guys like Ereck Flowers, Jordan Howard, Kyle Van Noy, who are all gone. Byron Jones, who's not going, I promise you, he's not going to see his full 5-year contract. He might stay around this year. I think Elandon Roberts will likely stay on the team this year. And he was actually, although, to be fair, and I said this at the time, he was one of the better signings because they didn't overpay. They just paid him an okay contract, you know, something a little bit more along the lines of what he was worth, and because they had already given out all the big contracts. So I think Elandon Roberts probably will stick around. We will see. But Byron Jones, man, if they don't restructure and so he finishes, more cuts or restructures needed over the next couple months. Fact, because they have no fucking money. A little more details, terms for the Washington Dolphins trade. They get Ereck Flowers in the 258th pick. It's a 7th rounder. And the Dolphins get the 244th. So all we do is move up 14 spots, I believe it is, in the 7th round. And we have to eat some of his fucking, you know, whatever. Not to mention the dead money, which, let's see. There is, what is it? $5 million in dead money. So we have $5 million in dead money. Then we have to pay $6 million of the fucking signing bonus that he was due this year. We lose the guy. Oh yeah, Shaq Lawson. Shaq Lawson is also gone. Let's not forget about that. Dolphins wound up spending $45.5 million for Shaq Lawson, Kyle Van Noy, and Ereck Flowers, who were all signed last year as free agents. All are now gone. Jason OTC puts that out. I told you guys. I told you it was a mistake then, and they are proving that by just fucking getting rid of him. And they still, I mean, they still have more. Dude, I'm telling you, they are in a hole. Last year was an aberration. They were not a 10-win team. They are not going to be a 10-win team this year. They are a mess. This organization is a fucking mess. Anyway, so that's what I got for you guys. Some pretty big news. They traded Ereck Flowers. They didn't get shit for him. And all at the end of the day, they didn't get shit for him. All they did was move up 14 spots in the fucking 7th round. They still have to fucking pay him some of his fucking guaranteed money from this year, $6 million. They have $5 million in dead space, and they're still stuck in a fucking hole for cap space overall. So they're still gonna have, and on top of this move, signaling that he was an overplayed player that isn't going to fucking get it done. That's why they got rid of him. So, I mean, it's a joke. People don't want to see it, but okay. I mean, it's going to be, this does make it super interesting, though, as to what they are going to do 2 days from now in the draft. They still currently have the 6th overall pick and the 18th overall pick. There is a ton of speculation that they will trade again. I think that they will. I'm not convinced that they're going to trade the 6th overall pick. I think that they probably will stay at number 6, but I do think that they will trade the 18th overall pick, and I have a feeling that they're going to trade up with it, not back. We'll see, though. I don't have, you know, firm, concrete evidence on that, of course, and so it will be interesting. Like I said, I will be doing a live stream for day 1 and day 2 of the draft, so be sure to join me for that, and we will see together what it is that they end up doing. Alright, with that, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you guys appreciate my perspectives. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. Of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Phins up.